job is with Salesforce's customer success group. And I'm happy to tell you more about that after the session. Today, however, I'm here to speak about inspiring employees to drive sustainability. That's what I try to do on a voluntary basis, on the side of my actual day job, in addition to that one. So, together with a colleague, I have established the London chapter of Earthforce. It's an employee volunteer group at Salesforce. And we try to raise the awareness around the different topics of sustainability, inspire our colleagues, families, friends, networks, and hopefully contribute a little bit to make this world an even better place. Now, I've spoken to a few of you actually last night who told me that their organizations are doing quite similar things in that direction. Just a quick show of hands. Who has a green team, something like this in their company, organization? Yeah, sustainability teams, anything formalized? Okay, a couple of hands, good, that's very encouraging. I will tell you all about it today, so just to set the scene, I want to speak about why an employee resource group is really important, what the challenges might be to actually set one up, and some solutions to that, benefits of having your own green team, and give you some steps as well to help and set up a green team in your company. So, to start with, I've got a quote that resonates really well with me. I'd like to share it with you. It's about the why. Never doubt that a small group of thoughtful, committed citizens can change the world, and indeed, it's the only thing that ever has. I think, actually, after the 3 presentations from last night, amazing speakers, I don't even need to explain anything. You know exactly what I mean. And this is one of the main reasons as well why I decided to engage and to speak up and to do something apart from my actual day job and help in the company to raise the awareness and then share that with my networks as well. Now, to change the world, that might seem quite big and might be a bit daunting, and you don't need to start with thinking you're going to change the world, but like we heard yesterday from Sophie, take baby steps, little by little, and see where you get, and it can actually grow into quite a big movement from what we heard yesterday as well. Now, at Salesforce, we are really lucky that sustainability is taken serious, also at the C-level. And I'd like to share a quote from Mark Benioff, Salesforce CEO. We believe that businesses are the greatest platforms for change, and we express this not only through our philanthropy, but through serving the interests of all our stakeholders. And you can see here the environment is considered as one of our stakeholders, key stakeholders, and we are committed to a sustainable future for all. Now, there's a few things that stick out to me in this quote is the greatest platform for change. You might have heard this before. So we say that about using the cloud, about artificial intelligence, and example here, philanthropy, the model where we give time, technology, and funds to charities. That's something where we've actually inspired many other companies to do the same, or in terms of equality, where you might have heard about our vocal leaders speaking up about the gender pay gap, or supporting the LGBTQ community as well. And I personally really enjoy using Salesforce, and I really like to use our business as a platform to drive conversations with my customers around sustainability. Also make use of events such as the World Tour in London, where we had the first time this year some lanyard recycling, we had a sustainability session, and Dreamforce this year is going to be our first ever climate summit as well. Now, as I said, at Salesforce we are lucky, we don't need to justify why we are engaging in sustainability and why that's important to us. Of course, that's not in every organization like this, and there might be some challenges. Lack of corporate commitment. So if you don't have what I just mentioned about Salesforce, if there is nothing that is actually written down, if you don't have such a commitment from the corporate support. Competing priorities. Normally, it's quite important, of course, to make money first, to save costs. And there is also other issues such as, we just had GDPR in, so that might be very important for you to actually set up for a company, to set up a working group. Or Brexit, where you even have deadlines as well. So for topics like climate change, global warming, there might not be such a sense of urgency. It's something that's coming very slow, and some people even find it okay to even question whether this is happening. And so employees might feel quite disempowered at times, especially depending on the industry they work in. It might even be an industry that works at times against the environment. So it might be quite hard to actually set up an employee resource group around sustainability. Now, let's look at the solutions. What are some of the positive things there could be? So you could really try and ensure corporate values have teeth, depending on what's your role in the organization, whether you're a leader, an individual contributor, try and influence that as well. Try and figure out what are people's interests to see how you can maybe find a segue into the actual emotions and the values around it. Identify burning platforms that will also mobilize the interest. So it could be something internal in the company when you have a travel ban. Tell the people, find out and calculate, tell the people how much CO2 can be saved by not traveling. Kind of turn it around, find some positives in that. And that brings me to the next point, unleashing the passion of employees. So you could even use something that's already out there, like we heard the July plastic challenge, go plastic free in July. That's something people might have already heard of, and then it's much easier. You don't even have to have a green team, just share that with colleagues and with the team and jump on that bandwagon. Veganism might be another topic that maybe resonates with lots of people in your organization. So try and leverage these and then create scalability. If you already have a sustainability team, a corporate social responsibility team, then an employee resource group might be a great vehicle, a formalized vehicle, and an extended arm to that team. Speaking of employee resource groups, I'm going to show you what we do at Salesforce in regards to employee resource groups. We actually call them Ohana groups. If you know Salesforce, you might know our affinity with Hawaii. And Ohana means family in the extended holistic sense. And we have all kinds of different groups, mainly looking towards equality. And they are actually, for a couple of years now, under the umbrella of the Office of Equality. You might have heard of that. It's under Tony Profit, our Chief Equality Officer. He was actually at World Tour London, so if you might have seen him or attended one of the sessions that he hosted and presented at. So, of course, I'm going to focus on the Earthforce team now. And let's look at some of the benefits of having a green team in your company. And the benefits are manifold for the business as well as for the individual. So, brand reputation is one. It's a good thing, and we heard so many, it's quite inspiring actually for me as well to see here so many people who are looking after that, for whom the environment is important. So there is lots of individuals already around just who are very proud when they can work for a company that takes sustainability serious as well. So cost savings, and there is two aspects to it. One is scalability. If you already have a sustainability team. Is that okay? Or does it just no? Cost savings, scalability, when you already have a sustainability team. Thanks. The volunteer group can be the extended arm of that and bring it to other offices or to other teams, to other departments. And in another way, influencing decisions such as going paperless in the office, or what we managed to do at Salesforce quite recently, Earthforce helped to get in a third waste stream at the London office, a composting waste stream, where we worked closely together with our workplace services team, with the real estate team, to actually set something up here. Loads and loads of people were behind it and said, this is really important, we want to get that in. So, can also mean more business on the one side, because some businesses ask their suppliers for sustainable practices, and also because it can actually inspire your partners, your customers, your prospects, whatever you do as a green team, or if you already have sustainability departments, to engage and share some best practice and set up their own as well. Now, for you as an individual, engaging in green teams, it has very different advantages as well. So one is leadership. For me personally, it's often put me very much out of my comfort zone to be the driver of the Earthforce group at London, and it still does actually, but it's also really rewarding whenever we have events coming up and whenever we do some voluntary activity where we get together loads of people and see the impact we have. It's really, really great to actually see how you can actually lead people and get them all together for the one cause. Connections is another one within the company. I have met so many people through working with Earthforce that I was otherwise never have met just because I don't work together with them. And now it's even easier in my day job. I can just reach out. I know who to actually ask for what and approach people, and facilitates even my day job as well. It's across different levels, departments, even within the region and different offices. So we actually came together in April at HQ and to meet other Earthforce members and leaders as well, to align and share our best practices and experiences. Influence, as I mentioned before, you actually get to influence some of the decisions and you have a say in certain initiatives that the company might run. I hope you feel super inspired now and also want to help set up a green team in your own company. There is 5 steps that I want to take you through, step by step. Just an overview here, you find like-minded colleagues, you create some goals, what you actually want to achieve, communicate those, hopefully get corporate support, and then drive participation and impact. That's exactly what I did. Someone told me, this colleague of yours is also actually interested in sustainability. Maybe you should get together with her. And that's what we did. We sat together for a coffee, and then, okay, yeah. We had certain ideas, we posted them on Chatter, as you do in Salesforce. We opened a group, and nowadays we have, of course, quick documents to organize ourselves as well. And there is meetups that we organized, and everyone is welcome to join, bring in their ideas, and hopefully also some hands-on activities and time to have impact here. Creating realistic goals. At Salesforce, you might have heard of our V2MAR process. So that's about setting your vision, your values, methods, obstacles that might be in your place. With an employee volunteer group, it's definitely time. Everyone has their day job to do as well. It might be budget. And then measures as well, how you actually see, have you been successful? How successful have you been? Write it down. We all know how powerful it is to actually write down your goals. And it's a great way to also then share it with your colleagues and with management. So you will hopefully get corporate support with that as well. Now we found like-minded colleagues. And we have also created some goals, and now we want to communicate that out, as we do in Salesforce. We post on Chatter. We also engage our employees via office events. In April, for example, is Earth Day, so we had a day full of different activities. We even had workshops on how to start your own plant-based diet. Organizing volunteering opportunities that brings teams together as well. And it's a great way to get out and help charities to have an impact as well. Corporate support, that was really a game changer for the Earthforce team in London. We got some great executive sponsors who are really passionate about the topic themselves. One actually lives by the beach, has kids, and sees the issue every day, and says, I want to support this, and that gives us support in terms of bringing more employees to the cause as well. An executive sponsor can also help with budget. So as soon as you want to set up some events, you might have some lunch involved, or some sustainable swag, or t-shirts, like I've got mine here from Earthforce. You might already have a sustainability team that you can align with, that you can work together with. And another one is to join forces with other employee resource groups. Some of you might have a women's network in your company already. Or something like at Salesforce, we have Earthforce, who is supporting the LGBTQ community. And we sometimes join together for volunteering or for certain, to invite speakers. And that is a great way also to be stronger together. Driving impact and participation through employee orientation. We all know sustainability is a big topic. It's about plastic pollution in the ocean, but it is also about the rainforest, about renewable energy, about clean air. The topics are manifold, and not everyone is interested in the same topics. So we try and go with whatever employees come up with and want to engage with and want to help organize. We also work together with non-profits where we do pro bono work or we go hands-on volunteering. I will have some pictures for you afterwards as well. And that's one of my favorites. We also want to meet other sustainability groups, other green teams, like from your companies. We want to hear from them. We want to exchange our ideas, our best practices. I would also love to set up some volunteering together. I think that would be great. So I want to hear from you all. These are our 5 steps. Find like-minded colleagues, create realistic goals, communicate them, get corporate support, and also drive participation and impact. Any questions to that so far? Show you some pictures. Office events. So I mentioned before, Earth Day in April. We had a great team setting up many different sessions throughout the day, depending on what people are organized. So we were talking about the impact of a plant-based diet, we were talking about cycling to work, we have a bike-to-work scheme at Salesforce, and one of our colleagues is a bamboo grower, so he was telling us about his business and how he is now also selling bamboo straws to restaurants in London. And Ocean Plastics Awareness Day, that was actually my personal highlight. That was, I think, my proudest moment in Earthforce. We put together an amazing, outstanding day, actually with the help of Will as well, who has great connections and brought some great speakers in. Emily Penn, who is doing ocean expeditions and was talking to us about the issue of plastic pollution in the ocean from a scientific perspective. We had Greenpeace in to hear the NGO perspective, what is the actual issue with plastic in the ocean, why it's such a problem. And we also had a corporate speaker in telling us how companies are actually dealing with the issue, what can be done from a corporate perspective as well. And what was great, you can see here some very young faces, so we got local students in, local school kids, who were working through workshops on app ideas. And that was very, very inspiring. They actually came up with so many great ideas, as you can imagine, thinking totally outside the box and not being blocking themselves like we so often do. They just came up with amazing ideas and kept working on those. And just a couple of weeks ago came back to us into the Salesforce Tower with their wireframes and showing us everything about what the app can do, and their also voucher systems, how you can collect points and bring those back. And at the moment, of course, we would love to make this app a reality. We are looking into opportunities for funding and developers. So that's it was a really, really rewarding initiative and event that we have set up here. Hands-on volunteering is something we also love to do. It brings us outside into nature. You can see us here litter picking and setting up a new walkway. These are always great fun days out and really good for team building as well. So combines different aspects. And now, you guessed it probably, it's your turn. Take action and start today. Hold your leaders accountable to the company's values. Create your own green team with the 5 steps that I gave you, and I'm happy to discuss those further. Organize a volunteering event. You don't need to be set up with a green team and a V2 mom and whatnot. You can just organize a volunteering event or jump on the bandwagon of a July Go Plastic Free campaign. You don't need to set up a whole green team for that. Start with the baby steps. We have brand new, literally, just came out this week, the Trailhead module, Create a Sustainable Future. I haven't completed the full batch myself. I have to confess, it's really brand new, and Create a Sustainable Future is what it's called. And I just read this morning, there is a consultation out from the government about marine conservation zones, where you can actually sign your support for these as well. The link is in here. I think the presentation is going to be shared, so you will see those. And by the way, pictures here, this is from World Tour. Some of you might have seen us. We were collecting the lanyards, first time in London this time, and they were recycled through the company. Some of the resources. We have a sustainability report, a stakeholder impact report at Salesforce that you are very welcome to download and to look into. There is also a blog post on 5 steps to create your green team. And again, the Trailhead badge that I encourage you all to take. Now, thank you very much. And on that note, I have one final quote that I'd like you to read. Thank you.